Hello, everybody, and welcome back. And as you can see, we are on an island in the middle of nowhere. And this is going to be a complicated build, but a quick one, if that makes sense. I am calling it the portal. And this is a portal that might pop up in a couple of other builds. It's a place where you enter the portal and you can pop out anywhere. So a lot of it's going to be sort of building and not so much talking. But if it gets too boring, I'm going to skip or fast forward or chop out a few bits. So all I've done is I've found the middle of the island. So these two lines here is the exact middle of the island. So this will be the pathway to the portal, and this will be the portal itself. And yes, it's going to be an imposing structure. So I have officially found the highest point that we can build to. So if we pull out our little brick, you can see we cannot build higher than that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build out, let's see, 3 meters, and that's 3 meters including the block that's already there. I think that, is that right? Am I counting? Yes, it's because there's a white block on the end. It doesn't look right. And then we're going to take these 2 blocks out. Maybe those 2 blocks too. And then we're going to start doing some fun stuff. I loosely based this off a game. And when I say loosely, I mean literally. It's very loosely based off a game and an idea of sort of combining. I want that on the ground, but it's not going to sit on the ground. Will you sit up there? No, you won't. Dang it. All right, it's fine. I will build you a ground as well. Let's go down. We are going to take this whole internal structure out, so let's just give it a place to land, shall we? Come on. You know you want to sit somewhere. That'll do. Okay, now we just have to flip it and turn it around. I think that will be enough, but we do need to establish a ramp that goes up to it. So, once again, our trusty block will come into play. And this is the middle. And yes, I promise I will take out. Actually, you know what? Let's measure it before I get excited. We're going to pull it to the portal. And we are going to up there. I think that should be high enough. I do have a reference. I'm getting quite good with my references. Otherwise, I have a problem. You know what? I'm thinking, no, that is going to work. Simply because, no, it's going to need to be a little bit smaller. All right, I'm going to have to do the little bit smaller this way because I want it to be even. There we go. And then we can pack out these middle blocks as well. All right, we have a magic pathway. We have a basis for a portal. And yes, it's going to be big. I can always shrink this down, but I just wanted a grand scale of things. Might be worth it to actually shrink it down a smidgen so you can see it all in one go. But there, we'll see. Let's do that. We want to actually have a pathway that you can walk through. So let's take it down a little bit more. Perfect. Because this is not going to be here. It's not going to remain. It's literally going to go away. I like how the black tones are red. It's very weird. Now for inside, I'm not sure what color or what textures I want to use. I think I'm going to stay with a straight bronze for now. Doesn't look bad at all. So let's copy that. So now that has to be one color, doesn't it? That's fine. We are going to be doing patterns and stuff on it. So it's okay. Now I'm going to have to duplicate this. So this is going to be fun. As I said to you, lots of measuring, lots of trying to keep it even. And then maybe it looks a bit like the portal that I'm referencing. Maybe not, but we can but try. All right, let's copy this again. And it's going to fly around in the wrong direction again. That's okay. I do want it quite big. Let's see how that works. And then we come to the fun part, because what I want to do is I want to build here. Because what we're going to do is we're going to use our triangles. Remember, I don't know if you watched my build for the thatched roof. That's what I'm trying to emulate, but this is going to be in metal now. So ultimately, these curves on the end will be gone. Okay. Okay, so you can see the curve is coming into being, and then we're going to go with our little triangle again, and we are going to pop it in here. By the way, come on, like that. And hopefully, come on, you can do it. You'll have a curve. Man. Like herding cats. Can you go there then if you're not happy with one below it? Not asking for a perfect curve, but I would like one. I will be putting lights along each one of these, so it might just sort of trick the eye. More of a curve to it. Don't know what the back is going to look like though, so that's going to be fun. We'll figure that out later. Right, so here we are going to just do this so we can see how good it looks. Okay, this will be a nighttime scene again. I'm quite enjoying the nighttime scenes. Now I've just got to copy that onto the other side and build this up. All right, let's see how far we are from the bottom of it. So that's 2 meters. Is this going to be too tall? Am I being too ambitious? Maybe. It should work. Leave that up. There's the middle. All right, where am I? 1.2. 1.2. So it's right that side. I'm happy with that. Okay. Let's copy that. There's the dude. Herding cats. Sounds like someone banging on a gate. Okay, I'm back. Our gardener arrived for the first time this year, and he's been away for a few weeks, and we've had super huge rain and hail and thunderstorms, and what a mess the garden was. So while he was busy with the weed eater and the lawnmower, I filled in the portal and took away the archways that I was sort of using as a reference. So this is what it looks like right now. It's not perfectly smooth. I wouldn't ever say that it's a perfect arch, but considering it's not a bad thing, I quite like it. So we are going to start doing stuff to it. Now, my reference here, it doesn't really look like copper. The middle of the ramp is copper. So I'm going to keep that. And the edges are copper. But the inside of it is not really. What do we have in the way of? We don't have damaged metals other than that. What happens if we have to go? You see it sort of. Well, let's try it and see what happens. Let's do the big walls in here. That's not bad. I just hate the repeating pattern it gives you. Better. Let's just do this. You can see all the different pieces that I've put in here. Oh, got a piece sticking out there, and as you can see, I haven't smoothed them all out properly yet. These ones are a little bit better. It's not bad as a portal. Let me just smooth these down a little bit more. They look terrible, so bear with me here. Really don't like these new highlights that they've given us. You can't see properly when you're using them. It's a little bit better, and it's not a bad thing if it's giving us sort of a line there. Because I'm going to be running lights along it. How bad is that? Oh, that is bad. Okay, let's start that again. It's a little bit better. Next. Okay, that looks better. Okay, so I'm going to keep the outside copper. I'm going to keep that on the inside. And then I need to put a wall up. I actually forgot that there's not really a wall at the back here, but there's definitely something at the back here. Let's do that. We've still got the center of the project, which is good. Now comes the fun part. Yeah, it's all been fun, but here comes the fun part. Let's find the large swimming pool. That one. All right, so I'm going to... seriously? That was glitchy. My computer just said, how's it? Okay, let's do that. Now, the interesting thing about this is you can now flip it and you get that weird, funky water feeling. Look at that. Watch as we go closer. It gives you like... As soon as I saw that, I was like, no, portal. Only problem is the ladder here, but you know, that can be arranged as part of. I'm probably going to put steps up to it so we can probably move it up a little bit. As you can see, the structure, I did shrink down a smidgen, but I think that's pretty awesome. Let's see if I do this. 1 meter. It's to be moved. Let me say 1 click to the right, 2 clicks to the right. That looks centered to me for now. I'm doing this because first of all I want to take my flashlight off and we want to see what we can find in the way of patterns. As you know, gotta have freaky patterns. Now this is what I used the last time. We only have two options. We only have plastic for this. That's also quite cool. That's a bit small. They are the bigger pattern, but they just too. That could be interesting if we use the right colors. Stars? No. Big stars to regular. See, those are different sizes. I wonder if we could do. Hold on. That's the base of it. So let's find a really deep blue. That could be interesting. Ooh, could be fun. Portal stars? I don't know. Could be. And we'll just match everything else up to that blue so it fades into the distance. I don't like the stars on the side, so let's just use that. Well, it could be fun. We'll try that, and then we can always play with patterns once we've got more happening. So now, obviously, again, stop it. Don't use the word obviously. It's not obvious. Nothing is obvious. Stop it. I'm going to put that there. And we'll move it up. No, this is the easiest way to do it. Do that. And then bring it in. Actually, we do need to bring it in, don't we? Are we within this wall here? We're going to have to do a little jiggledy-poke. Hold on. That works. Okay. We have a portal. We'll deal with the back at a later stage. But I think that's going to be pretty darn good. Let's see if we do that. It's pretty good. Now we've got to, let's use that as an example. See, did I actually line it up properly? Yes, I did. It's a miracle. Never line stuff up properly. That going to hinge on the swimming pool? No, it won't. Awesome. So let's fill in the back. We have gaps. We can fill the gaps. You'll see it's actually filling in some of the gaps that we did by being slightly off-centered triangles. The only way to do it is to come in here and see if there's a light shining through. No light shining through? Only there. And there. So let's move this down a smidge. No light shining through now. Awesome. Where's my little friend? Hello. It all depends which direction you travel in as to whether there's light shine. But I think not bad considering. Let's just finish this out. We are going to have to use, oh boy, let's see how high we can get with that. Awesome. We'll worry about all the flickering and bits and bobs just now. So then of course we now do the triangles. Oops. That needs to go. Is it right? No, it doesn't. There we go. So we have the start of the portal. Now, I would like this to be fairly industrial. So we are going to need lights and pipes and all kinds of good things. So let's start by putting in a light switch because, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be one of those things we're going to need to find to switch on and off. I think let's put it in down here. And then for the lights, I'm wanting a round light. It's either that or that. That's flatter. It looks quite like that, but I don't know how big it is. So let's see, how big are you? As opposed to you. Yeah, we can use both sizes. That we can live with. Awesome. So for this, I'm thinking of going, like the way the pool flickers as we... I'm seeing it out of the corner of my eye. All right, let's change this. And I think let's go chrome. And they're probably going to need to change this to RGB. And my reference tells me blue. So let's do blue. Let's attach them, and then we can just copy them. Copy everything. Oh, yes. Oh, nice. I like it. Okay. And then we're probably going to use LED strips, but for the LEDs, LED. I saw RGB, LRG. I don't know. Let's see what color this is. And see if it actually will work with the cyan light. Doesn't really doesn't do it for me. Dang it. Alright, let's put the lights off. Let's put the lights off and have a look. If we say midnight, now those lights. Aren't bad. Right, let's put a few of these lights on and see while it's dark. And then we can go ahead and now that it's light, you can actually see the nooks and crannies that I'm going to have to fix. Okay, then. Oh, I like the way that, look at the way the light's actually shining there. That's quite cool. Okay, I'll take that. All right, so I want an industrial, but I also want, let's put it back to daylight and then go to the store. And we've got a lot of, well, not a lot, some. Let's go with chrome because that's what we're using. Let's look and see what this looks like. I actually would use that on the outside. Or is that just me? Will you put there? You do. It's pretty good. So much for using bronze. But that looks pretty interesting. And then I can always, I can't curve it, but let's see what's the largest we can do with this, I would move it into that and just push it in a smidge, because these lights aren't really protruding that much. And that just picks up the light, which is actually quite amazing. I wish they could do reflections like that. Don't you agree? I'm guessing you're a little bit further down here. I like that. I'll carry on with the top bits. I think we need to put some smaller lights. Can we? Let's see what these look like. Okay, that works. So there's that. Now for this, I was thinking of stairs, but I don't know if we've got the right stairs for this. We haven't got metal stairs, not attic stairs. That's not going to help anybody do anything. We don't have options to choose metal. We can choose plastic. No, not really. But it gives us a starting point. I want to put some movement on the back wall there. We have pillars. We have archways. How chunky is this one? This one's quite nice and chunky. It'll fit interestingly in there. And then of course we've got the archways, which we can play with some more. The half arch. And we could probably do that in maybe that reflects the light so nicely. I don't know why my game keeps on like stuttering. Don't know if it's my PC or if it's just weird things are happening. Like that. I say this is inspired by, it's in no way, shape or form what the game looks like. It's really cool. With the color. Oh, what am I trying to do? Trying to build with paintbrush. That's fun. Alright, so if we wanted to do that again. So if we use a different metal, well, yes, you will reflect the light differently. Ooh. I think, yeah, it will have to be. Now that reflects this blue light here, which is quite fun. I'll fill in those gaps with various things, but not now. I'm just playing with shapes. Okay, so columns. What other columns do we have? We've got the stone column. We can do it in metal. Ooh. Do you want to stand? Yes, you will stand there. That's sticking out. Yes, it is. Damn it. Tucked it just into the. Okay, that's pretty much. Could be fun. And how about if we take one? You're not going to. You're not. What am I doing? Are you coming out? No, you're good. Now the question would be, can I resize you? Yes. Oh, that looks good. I like that. Okay, that makes sense to me. We'll have to do something up there. But this is a good start. And in fact, those columns might be a good idea. Let's take you here. We don't want you. Actually, let's do this to start with. This is never going to work because we don't get a half. But it's a place to start. I'm wanting the design more than the actual column. That works for me. Bet you I haven't got it at the right angle. This is gonna be fun. Hey. Hey ho. That works. Ooh. Right. So let's move that in that. And then I just need to do that again. Maybe just a little bit more of a tweak. Yeah. Mix up the lights nicely. Okay, I'm happy with that. And then we can actually use a little piece of our favorite material. Triplet's always dicey proposition because you can never use all the surfaces on it. Whereas this one, it's always up for a bit of fun. And then we can use maybe the lighter steel. It's not really lighter, is it? But it is a different texture. And we just got to do that again. Not sure what I'm doing around the sides yet, so I'm going to leave. I suppose let me size that as good as it gets. You can see the light actually changes depending on the texture, which is quite pleasant. I quite enjoy that. All right. Are you going to sit here for me? Okay, that's a good start. But I'm going to leave it here because I just thought I'd introduce you to the portal. And my thought process was we could maybe incorporate something similar to this in the corner of our properties, our weird properties. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. But I really love the weirdness. If I take that off and I hide that, that's my favorite. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day. I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.